Welcome to my Tarot School, Lesson 1. This is Queen of Cups, the channel of Queen of Cups Tarot. I will not go in so much into history of Tarot because there's so much to be said about this, and I think you're more eager to get to the use of the cards. But I will say this, that Tarot has a mystical history. It's very... it might have been around for a long time, but there's not much knowledge into this because it has been a secret, like a science kept by secret societies. And the modern tarot was born in the late 1800s when a London group of mystics and philosophers founded the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And we also had the Rider-Waite deck, this one that you see displayed before you, being created in 1909 by Arthur Edward White and Pamela Colman Smith. They designed their own version of the Golden Dawn Tarot deck that was done by the earlier group, the earlier London group, and it became the most popular deck in the whole world and has been the most used deck since then. I myself have gone through several of these decks, and unfortunately my my English version it's dead. I can't use it. This is a newer deck I bought before I started my Tarot channel, maybe 10 years before, but I haven't been using it that much, so it's very new and pristine. The tarot cards are divided into two groups. It's the normal, like the normal suits of a normal card game. It's aces, it's from aces to kings, but you also have the page, like the princes, that make the tarot a little bit more equal because in the playing cards there's only knight, queens and kings. And then we have the 21 cards here of the 22 cards of the major arcana, starting with the Fool, the number 0. So when we deal with tarot cards, these cards from the major arcana is actually a depiction of human evolution. And human evolution goes in spirals. It's like karma, like this. It goes in spirals. It's because you're supposed to learn a thing and then you can move on, and it continues with the spiral. So you start with the Fool and end up with the World, and you start with the Fool and end up with the World every lap, like this. You're learning from all these different events in your life. The Fool is when you are a newborn child or a beginner in something, or you don't have so much experience but a lot of hope and excitement, and it goes on to the World, where you kind of graduate from this circle that you have been through. It's actually also a depiction of how the solar system works. First it revolves like around the sun. Every planet is evolving around the sun, but also the sun and the whole solar system is shooting through the universe in great speed and always circulating around its own axis, and the own axis is the sun. So it's also doing this spiral, and it's going like up and down in the plane that's the Milky Way. So this is the spiral is a very important symbol, but also this with the circle, like the snake that bites its own tail, and also the 8, because sometimes you really need to grind in something, you really need to learn something, and you go like in an 8 like this. It's like an eternal work from your point of view that's never ending until it's really tedious. And it's what I used to say is like having the same nightmare over and over again until you solve it. What I do to get to know the tarot cards is first and foremost to meditate on each card. It's better to do this in group, actually, because you get much more fantastic energy, and you can see much more wonderful details when you join forces. But you can also do this on your own, and you just take deep breaths, 3 deep breaths, and you tune into your body, you listen to your breathing, you listen to your heartbeat, and you like stare on this picture and seeing it before you. And eventually you close your eyes and you just imagine yourself to be on this place and see what happened. Don't try to control it, just let it, like whatever comes will come. Maybe it will just be a color or just like a symbol or just like an happening, like something is happening. And I also, when you have had like a meditation like that, you should write this down, what have happened to you. You could actually start making a book of your own, like choose a beautiful notebook. I myself have started on a new one, this one, and it's not, I haven't been writing so much in it just yet. And here we have like the first side, it's the Fool, and then we have the Magician, and the High Priestess, the Empress, and it just goes on. And I also have the different suits here, each one or two sides or more for each and every card. So it's just starting new notebooks all the time. You can also have this on the computer, but I like to have a book the side of my bed, so when I wake up with a awesome dream, I can, that relates to some of the cards, I can write it down. Also, when you hear like other tarot readers' interpretation, or when you make when you also listen to different situations, like you can look at TV or watch the news, and you see, but oh yes, that's the Gemini, or that's the Queen of Swords, or that, yes, that's the World card, or that's the Tower, and you can write down more of the imprints that you got from the different cards. Also, I urge you to lay a lot of tarot, like start doing tarot, start doing your own spreads, and write them down. It's important, because then you learn, and you will also be able to go back and look at your interpretation. I think I have done, like, I must have had like hundreds of these books, and each time I buy a new book. Here I have my newest, it's Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner, and each time when I buy a new book like this, I'm at Mars right now, reading about Mars. I use this when I interpret cards for myself. I use usually cards for myself when I'm interpreting my dreams, to get to know why I dreamt of I can take tonight's dream. I was trying to take a horse into a pool, and actually I opened a door in the side of the pool. The water must have run out, but it didn't. So that can be like so crazy, so you don't really get why was I'm dragging this horse to the pool. And then I can take a card for that and find out. I can take one now, so you will see how it works. I will take this from my new deck, the Golden Botticelli Tarot. So we'll see what was my dream with the horse here. And we have the 10 of Cups, so that was probably the swimming pool, like something that's filled with emotions. And Knave of Pentacles, like this horse, that it was a little pony, brown little pony, and it was like not protesting while I was dragging it into the pool. And here we have 9 calyxes, so it's almost like a baptized thingy going on here. And here we have the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords, I actually dropped a key in the bottom of that pool, and I had to dive down and get it. So I think it's something that I don't know. It's something with my emotions I can't grasp. So this is how I used the tarot. This, as I said, was Golden Botticelli, to interpret my dreams. And I would write this down and also write down the interpretation. There's a lot of job to learn tarot. It's just not like you can have a CD and put it in your ear and then download it. It doesn't work like this. If you want to learn tarot, you need to put in a lot of effort. You need to get to know the cards. And so every time I get a new book, it can be like a different variation of books. I do like this, and then I learn so many new variations and deepening my knowledge about the tarot. So that's my secret for how I deal with this. And well, I might come back with something more, but this was it for now. Very brief introduction to the tarot. Okay, so bye bye.